Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing episode number 26 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team unlimited and or competitive play based on how much MT they have and what their squads are currently looking like. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button to help me push towards the 20,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with this first team today comes in from Rubito. He's got 850,000 MT. It says LeBron and Giannis have extra hops, and the only player that he can actually sell is KP. I wouldn't recommend selling KP, and honestly, you look at this team, and I think your point guard position is probably your biggest weakness. I don't love the small forward position as well. It could use some upgrades, but here's the thing. With the All-Star Weekend content that is coming on Friday, I don't really recommend a ton of huge updates or upgrades unless you have a ton of MT to work with. Now, here's the thing. Rubito's in a position where I kind of think at the end of the day, he's going to want 2 new point guards. The All-Star Weekend will probably bring some new PGs, but at the same time, a guy like Oscar Robertson would be a massive upgrade. And with 850,000 MT, you could buy Oscar and still have, grind a little more, 600,000 plus MT going into the weekend. I think if I'm going to buy anybody, that would be the one guy to target. Outside of that, the problem is the small forward position. The guys who are actually going to be upgrades from Braun and AK are very expensive. So to me, I would probably leave it there. And every other position, I think you're fine at. Tyson Chandler would be a nice position, a nice player to grind for. I think he's better than both Giannis and Chet, but he's certainly not but you certainly have a good team there. I really think Oscar's the main upgrade if you want to pick somebody up. Second squad today comes in from Don. He says he's saving up MT for All-Star Weekend. Speaking of All-Star Weekend, there you go. It's 387K. He's got a good team in some areas, and I understand the idea of saving MT for All-Star Weekend, but this team could use a little bit of touch-ups at the same time to actually improve his squad. Like, for example, Spencer Dinwiddie is his PG, and then he's got Jeremy Lin as well. Those two guys should be your point guards. The Jeremy Lin from that locker code, obviously, and then Spencer Dinwiddie should be your point guards. He doesn't have that Jeremy Lin, but you got to pick him up and get him in your lineup. That will upgrade your point guard positions substantially, honestly, if you just pick up those two players. Peyton Watson at the 2, there you go. He's fine. We leave him there. You have Peja and Carmelo. Those guys should be your 2 small forwards, in my opinion. I think I'm sliding Peja over, although Peja at the 4 is not a bad idea. Off the bench, Gervin's not bad at all. I think he's actually a pretty decent free card, so we'll leave him in there as well, I guess, although the defense here off the bench isn't incredible. You have Chet and you have Embiid. I'm going to be honest, one of the players that this team desperately needs, really the only thing you should be playing right now is TTO, because you need Tyson Chandler. He is a pretty much must-buy card, I think, in a lot of ways. Mo Bamba can be your backup center for right now, and then if you could get Tyson Chandler in here and get something like this going, this team could be really cooking. The thing is, you're not really spending any MT. I did not mean to put Paul George here. That was supposed to be George Gervin, like I said. There we go, Gervin right there. So like this team right here is a lot better than this team, and I think if you can get to here, then you'll be going into All-Star Weekend with a lot more of a competent and a lot better of a squad. If you pick up a couple players there, you're really going to be set up for some good team upgrades for sure. Now, third team today comes in from Anti-Tony. He says he's got 116 KMT, and he's thinking about getting Amin to replace Dante, putting Dante at shooting guard, and then getting a backup small forward. Here's the thing. 116K, you have Dante, Lin, Korver. I don't love Korver. I like Artest better than Korver personally, just because I want defense more than I want the shooting personally. And Korver doesn't play that much defense, but if you really like Korver, go for it. My thing is you do need a small forward, yes. And I don't see why, honestly, Amin Thompson is the guy to target, though, because Dante DiVincenzo and Jeremy Lin get the job done. You don't really need a point guard. I would just go after a small forward, and the small forward to get is Peja Stojakovic. You have enough MT to get him. He's a top 5 small forward in the game. And he's an elite level defender, so he's going to fix your defensive issues in a lot of ways as well, or help your defensive issues. Then you can bring Artest off the bench at small forward or do whatever you want there. But I would just go get Peja and just skip the Amin Thompson step. I don't really see the point of going out and trying to get Amin Thompson. Just me personally. I don't dislike this team by any means. I think it's actually a pretty good squad, but I think it would be served better if you get Peja instead. And also, I would start Tyson. That's like a no-brainer to me. Tyson starts at the 4 with Embiid or at the 5 with Chet. I really don't care. And then if you go with Tyson at the 4, just have Embiid as your backup, or Chet as your backup 4. If you go with Tyson at the 5 instead of Embiid, have Embiid as your backup 4 and Bamba as your backup 5, in my opinion. Now, 3 more teams. This one is from Drizzy. He's no money spent. Says he's planning to buy Porzingis or wait for Galaxy Opal. See, here's another team. This, again, all you should be doing this week is going and getting Tyson Chandler. And then if you get Tyson Chandler and you still have time or you want to go get somebody else, go get Wesley Person from Clutch Offline. But go get free cards. That Tyson Chandler would be an absolutely gigantic upgrade at the power forward position. You bring Chet off the bench. Now you take Evan Mobley out of your lineup, and your team is way better, and you haven't spent an EMT. Not to mention all the EMT that you're going to make from grinding for Tyson that will set you up for All-Star Weekend. Also, just go get Peyton Watson for $21K. He's better than both of your shooting guards. Take out Kawhi or Jimmy, whoever you prefer to take out, or even Carmelo if you want to slide Jimmy to the 3 or something for more defense. That's an option as well. Either way, I would grab Peyton Watson. That's the only player I'd pay for, and I'd be grinding for Tyson Chandler and setting up for this weekend's content. Putz has 270K, and he's got a good team. There's no doubt. Point guard position is pretty darn good. Shooting guard position, I don't hate it. I don't love Core, but people like that card. If you want to use them, go for it. Carmelo, and then I assume Evolved English, Tyson and Chet, and then Wang and Hibbert. I don't understand why you're running Hibbert over D-Rob. Personally, I think D-Rob's release is way better. This team, though, to be honest, this is another team where it's like, honestly, there is one upgrade that you should make, and it's the small forward position. And again, I think it's probably Peja Stojakovic. I just think he's the best option. I think that 115,000 MT price point is the perfect price point for a guy like that. He's cheaper than all of the other elite level diamond and pink diamond small forwards, but he himself is an elite level card without a shadow of a doubt. Allows you to bring Carmelo off the bench, improves your team a little bit, and I think overall sets you up for an absolutely amazing squad. And then, and I use 100K MT, sure, but just grind a little bit, get some MT back, and you'll have some MT to pick up a player for 2 for All-Star Weekend as well. Stork is the final team for today's video, and he says his shooting guard small forward position is a mess, but he likes his power forwards and centers. Likes D-Book and is his favorite player. Okay, well, if it's your favorite player, he's got to stay on the squad, and honestly, he's fine as your backup point guard anyway. Your starting lineup is elite. Your bench is a little questionable, yes. But it's not bad. It just is the shooting guard small forward position. I agree. I don't love T-Mac, and me personally, I don't love Korver. I'm assuming if you're saying that, that means you don't love Korver either. And I kind of agree about Thurl. Thurl is more of a 4. I like Chet and Thurl about the same at the 4, to be honest, at this point. You could really go with either one, but I would pick one of those two guys, the 4. And then I would just buy a 2 and a 3, low-key. But Peyton Watson is the 2 that I'd buy because he's super cheap, 21K. He's better than both T-Mac and Korver, in my opinion. Just more complete, gives you more on the defensive end, gives you more versatility, a release that's on quick that's better than T-Mac's, and just way more complete and versatility than Kyle Korver. I just like him as a better card than both of those guys. Then you could go out and pay a little bit more for a small forward. If you're going to pay for a small forward, I would go get either Andre Blatch or Jonathan Isaac. I don't think I included Andre in my top 10 small forwards because I think of him more as a power forward with his size, but he is an elite card, and obviously Jonathan Isaac is really good as well. One of those two guys, the small forward position would be a nice upgrade. Otherwise, in the time being, you could also just run Thurl at backup 3 with Peyton Watson at the backup 2 temporarily. I think that would be better than using T-Mac or Korver at the 3. Thurl would not be a bad option at the 3 until All-Star Weekend if you don't want to spend the MT. And honestly, I wouldn't blame you. I think Peyton Watson's the only player that's kind of worth buying because of his price and him being an upgrade at shooting guard. Regardless, that is going to do it for today's video. That is the last team. So I hope y'all did enjoy this episode, and I hope you are looking forward to this weekend's content the way that I am, because I think it's got potential to be a bit game-changing and really, really good, really deep content as well. Regardless, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.